There are many kinds of negative thinking. While there are truly unlimited lists of the ways you can think about your life in a negative manner, most of them are offshoots of the following categories. Do you ever recognize yourself falling into the following 12 harmful and negative thinking patterns? Number 1, generalizing everything. Everybody does that. I always mess things up. Those thoughts may be correct in some instances, but when you generalize literally everything, you're not acting on all of the information available to you. If you try to learn how to ride a bicycle and give up after falling your first time, you're not being fair to yourself. Your thinking might be, I always fall down when I try to ride a bicycle. However, you're making a huge generalization based on a single experience. If you quickly arrive at definitive conclusions and ideas in the face of little information, you should notice that this could be a very negative generalization on your part. 2, perfectionist thinking. When someone adopts an always or never belief, this can lead to negative consequences. It is true that sometimes an event, outcome, or experience can be categorized as absolutely one way or another. But most things in life exist in the gray zone, not all black or all white. This type of all or nothing thinking is often marked by perfectionist behavior. A student receiving a 99% score on a test has done very well, but that particular person may believe that anything other than 100% effort all the time is an absolute failure. Number 3, gloom and doom mentality. For this person, everything is a catastrophe. A person that is hampered by the gloom and doom way of thinking would not be happy if they won the lottery. They would immediately envision tax problems, dealing with endless requests for money, and wasting their new fortune. Obviously, this kind of catastrophic thinking is unhealthy. If you see a rainstorm headed your way, it is obviously wise to find an umbrella or get indoors. But when you constantly see dark clouds on your horizon, even in the middle of a beautiful, cloudless, sunny existence, you might suffer from gloom and doom mentality. Frequent use of the word should. What is wrong with constantly having thoughts and making statements with the word should? This type of negative thinking develops from a few different problems. For instance, the person who regularly thinks that they should not have attempted or tried something may suffer from low self-esteem. They say, I know I shouldn't have tried that because I knew I was going to fail anyway. Making mental and sometimes vocal should statements can also display a belief that the world is unfair. This type of negative thinking is found in statements or thoughts like, they should have done this because I did that. There is never a guarantee that any particular outcome will develop in the response to your actions. Thinking negatively because you believe someone or something should have responded to your actions in a particular way is pointless. Not accepting positive occurrences. Wonderful, amazing things happen to people every day. Normal, otherwise unexceptional individuals experience beneficial doses of fate regularly. If you negatively view some type of positive event or occurrence in your life, you are creating stress and anxiety needlessly. This type of person may be very talented at baking cakes. All of her friends and everyone who tastes her cakes absolutely rave about them and tell her how amazing and delicious they are. If she is the type of person that negates her positive experiences, she will merely think, they are just saying that because they like me. Or, they are just being nice. I wonder what they are saying behind my back. Learn to accept positive compliments and notice the positive events in your life. Constantly viewing yourself negatively. Every human being has marvelously unique gifts and talents. This means you as well. You limit your social impact and keep your gifts from the world when you frequently slap negative labels on yourself, your qualities, and your actions. This is an offshoot of the previous type of negative thinking. From the moment this person wakes up in the morning until their head hits the pillow at night, they constantly believe they're a failure and is undeserving of anyone's respect, admiration, or love. They use words like idiot, dummy, and stupid when referring to themselves, sometimes in what appears to be a joking manner. This type of negative belief can quickly become a self-fulfilling prophecy if they are not careful. Focusing on pain. Did you know that your mind will lead you effortlessly in the direction of your most dominant thought? Yes, you really are what you think. Neurologists have found that your brain does not understand negative qualifiers. In other words, if you say, "I don't want to be sick all the time," your brain just hears "sick all the time" and then unconsciously moves you in that direction. If you catch yourself focusing on pain instead of pleasure, negatives as opposed to positives all of the time, you need to stop this dangerous belief. Tell yourself that you love feeling energetic and healthy, as opposed to focusing on your negative health problems as a way to get rid of them. When dealing with a painful problem or event, think of it in a positive manner. Mind reading. Do you always know what people are really thinking? Can you look at a total stranger across the room and tell exactly what is going on inside their mind? Unfortunately, this may be a sign that you have developed a very negative way of thinking. Science has never proven the ability of one person to perfectly understand the unspoken or unacted thoughts of another. This is a negative way of thinking because it disallows a person, event, or circumstance to act in a way other than what you were thinking. You should be open to the thoughts and actions of others without thinking that you already know what is going to happen. Jumping to conclusions. This is loosely related to the mind reader mentality. You shut down all the communications when you are constantly jumping to conclusions. A wise person waits until all information is available before arriving at a conclusion. This type of impulsiveness is often found in people viewed as leaders or authority figures, and is also called labeling. Unfortunately, since we all jump to conclusions from time to time, this is not often viewed as a negative thinking pattern. But if you are constantly finishing other people's statements, judging with little information, and rushing to reach a conclusion prematurely, you need to slow down your thought process and receive more information. Personalizing everything. The whole world does not revolve around you. Everyone knows someone that can turn any and every event into a personal experience. This oversensitivity to just about everything can be incredibly harmful and dangerous. You should never blame yourself for events beyond your control. Remember, the world is not out to get you. The exact opposite is true. Almost every event that occurs anywhere and everywhere, locally or globally, has nothing to do with you. Stop taking blame for events and situations that you have no control over, and work to stop seeing personal attacks everywhere you look. Owning a magical mindset. This is not as common as some of the other negative thoughts on this list, but some people develop a magical mindset that can, in many cases, be confused with positive thinking. This is not as common as some of the other negative thoughts on this list, but some people develop a magical mindset that can in many cases be confused with positive thinking. It's okay to believe that you can achieve whatever goals you set for yourself. As long as you get the proper information, take action. Most human beings can do just about anything. But people with a magical way of thinking often become frustrated and spend a lot of their time in a bad mood. This is because they believe their mere thoughts can create change. It is their belief that thinking about a desired result can create it, even in situations and events that they are not interacting with. When they fail to see the intended result, they are unhappy. Constantly seeking approval. It is easy enough to see why this behavior can be negative. If you have an excessive need for approval, you probably suffer from low self-esteem. You constantly need outside influences to tell you that you are worthwhile, good, successful, smart, and that you offer some value to the world. Truly happy, peaceful people recognize their own self-worth. It is nice to receive a deserved pat on the back from time to time, but you shouldn't have to receive approval or applause from others to recognize your accomplishments and value as a human being.